Now, under these plans, all 2 million Gazans would be relocated, either through voluntary departures to unnamed countries or into restricted security zones inside the Strip during reconstruction. Palestinians who choose to leave, they would get $5,000 in cash, rent subsidies for 4 years, and a year's worth of food.
What's the day after plan look like in Gaza? The Washington Post just released a 38-page PowerPoint plan that the U.S. is planning to get involved in Gaza post-war. Take a look at this clip over here with Jonathan Conricus, the former IDF spokesperson, talking about how he foresees the day after actually going. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Now about U.S. President Donald Trump's great plan for post-war Gaza. Yes, that is what it's called, the Gaza Reconstitution Economic Acceleration and Transformation Trust. The Washington Post leaked a 38-page PowerPoint on the Trump administration's big plans. The title, From a Demolished Iranian Proxy to a Prosperous Abrahamic Ally, where in 10 years, the Gaza Strip is transformed into a high-tech manufacturing hub and a tourism resort under a trusteeship administered by the United States. Now, under these plans, all 2 million Gazans would be relocated, either through voluntary departures to unnamed countries or into restricted security zones inside the Strip during reconstruction. Palestinians who choose to leave, they would get $5,000 in cash, rent subsidies for 4 years, and a year's worth of food. And this is the cheaper option for the trust compared to those who stay in Gaza and need temporary housing, which would cost roughly $23,000 more. Jonathan, it all sounds great on paper. No U.S. government funding, mega projects that include electric vehicle factories, beach resorts, high-rise apartments. It's unfathomable to think about this in the Gaza Strip, but does it address the real problem? The Gazans themselves, from what we've been hearing, they don't want to leave the Gaza Strip if it's to a place like South Sudan. So is this actually a feasible plan?
So I would love for it to happen, but perhaps it's too good to be true. Too good in the sense of it promises too much and it paints too pink of a picture for the future. I think what it needs to tackle, what everybody who wants to deal with progress in the Middle East needs to tackle, is the core issue of Palestinian obstructionism. And Palestinian obstructionism and its European and Arab support will be the strongest enemy of this plan, even though the plan could be great, and even though, if implemented, it probably would be the best thing to happen to the Gaza Strip and to the people who live there for generations. But I think the chances are slim because Palestinian obstructionism and the idea that Palestinian statehood must happen according to a certain cookie-cutter paste that Arab countries and a few European countries have determined is a very powerful force, and it doesn't really get confused with logic. Logic would say, get the people out, rebuild the place, get foreign investment, and do something good, and change the trajectory of that wretched piece of earth, Gaza, and change the trajectory in the future of the people who live there. That makes pretty much sense. But what doesn't make sense is this very, I would say, irrational insistence on Palestinian statehood, that it must come no matter what atrocities they do, no matter how poorly they govern themselves, no matter how hostile they are to their neighbors, they must have statehood. And we're going to, I believe, discuss declarations about Palestinian statehood and the rest. It's all connected. So this could be a great plan. I struggle to see it implemented because there will be irrational people that cling on to dreams of the past that will put wrenches in the machinery just not to see this done.
Well, whatever your view is of the actual plan and how it actually comes into fruition, only time will tell. But one thing that is good about all of this discussion is that it's discussing it in a different way than has been discussed over the past 70 years. It's interesting because so many people, all of these politicians and world leaders and whatnot, have all looked at this in the exact same way and churned out, as it turns out, the same exact results. Everyone fighting for two-state solutions and going back to status quo and instilling new leadership that really just models the old leadership. And we wind up with the same results, same terror attacks, same terrorists running the area. And it's good to look at it through fresh eyes, because if you're going to have a similar, not Hamas, but another terrorist organization, instill their education into their system, and bring up the kids with the hatred of Jews, hatred of Israel, hatred of anything of the West. If you're going to do that again and again, just under different namesakes, you're going to wind up with the same results. More death, more trillions, or not trillions, but billions of dollars being spent in trying to remedy situations, heartache for the region, heartache for the world. So it's a good idea to have some sort of new system in place over there in Gaza, that we shouldn't wind up with the same results. Because when you do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, we know that that is the definition of insanity. So it's good to see that whatever you think of this idea, it's not the same insanity that we've seen for the last 70 years. What is actually going to come about? Time will tell. And God willing, it will be good for everyone in the region. I'm optimistic about what the day after plan is going to look like. Let's pray that this war ends immediately and really, really soon, that Hamas is completely demolished from power, hopefully completely destroyed outright, that the hostages are returned, and a better life is in store for everyone in that region. And if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch.